Hi coffee beans! How's it brewing? Today I'm going to be making some shaker charms. Da-da-da-da! These are going to be a fun Magical Girl themed shaker charm set. I'm going to be making this mold because it completely reminds me of Sailor Chibi Moon's crystal chime. It reminds me of her little bell with the heart and the wings, and the moon is a dead giveaway. This mold is listed as a ray gun, but it totally looks like Sakura's sealing wand from Cardcaptor. And a unicorn, because every magical girl needs a unicorn. For this project, I'll be using UV resin from Sophie and Toffee, and let me know, because I'm running out, 1:1 epoxy resin from EasyCast, and I'll also be using various pigment dyes and colored UV resins from Sophie and Toffee in pastel colors. I'll put a link to all the stuff I use below. I'll be starting with the Sailor Chibi Moon mold. It's not actually called that, but that's all I can think of when I see it. Before mixing and pouring the epoxy resin, I colored a tiny bit of UV resin and added it to the mold. I did glitter for the diamond, pink for the heart with pre-colored UV resin, red for the bow, and white for the wings. I was curing each layer as I worked to prevent them from running or mixing with each other. Then I added resin at the bottom with a confetti heart and tiny dots of blue on each side. I let that cure slowly on my windowsill while I worked on the next piece. I used the same method as before for the ray gun. I added a dot of pink UV resin with a red gem to the hollow spot on the wings. Then I mixed up some white resin with glitter and poured that on the wings and on top of the gem. Then I added tiny dots of blue, green, and red to the little buttons at the bottom. And finally, I added a bit of red to the heart-shaped trigger, then set it on the window to hang out with the other shaker. I saved the unicorn for last because I knew I was going to be mixing up a bunch of different colors for its mane. First, I colored some clear resin with gold glitter and put that on the horn. Then I added opaque pink, teal, and purple to the mane, with transparent purple and green UV resin in between. It was really hard to see where the curls in the mane were, so I had to get up close and personal with the mold and the camera to see what I was doing. Now that the UV resin is all cured, I can finally mix up the epoxy resin. The best method I've found is to mix the epoxy and hardener together for 3 to 5 minutes. And then pour it back into the other container and stir that for 3 to 5 minutes. That way, it ensures that all of it is mixed. I've had luck the last several times with this method. My pieces haven't been soft or sticky, and there's no air bubbles. 2 of the molds are going to be 2 colors each, so I split this big batch of resin into 4 separate cups. I mixed up pastel yellow and pink and carefully poured that into the Sailor Chibi Moon mold. Then I mixed up the hot pink and purple and poured that into the Cardcaptor ray gun mold. Now, take a minute and look at this glitter. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous! It's actually makeup glitter, but considering I only know how to use eyeliner and mascara, this glitter is totally lost on me in the makeup department. But mix it in resin and ta-da! It's amazing! So, usually I let my resin sit for upwards of 3 days to make sure everything is cured. But 1, I was way too excited to wait. And 2, it's been insanely hot in my house for the last week, so these cured in less than 12 hours. I'll go ahead and let you watch me unmold these. I definitely need to get an ASMR microphone, so you can all enjoy listening to the demolding process. I know you love it! The only one that got a tiny bit messed up was the unicorn. The purple UV resin didn't cure fully under my UV light, but I just added a tiny bit of clear UV resin, and you can hardly tell. Last week, as I was working on these, I shared these shakers on my Instagram stories. I gave you guys a poll asking what kind of shakers these should be. Should they be wet, meaning I add baby oil and the embellishments will move slowly, or should they be dry, meaning no baby oil and the embellishments will rattle around? You guys helped me out immensely, as you always do, so all of these shakers today are based on what you voted for. Thank you so much for helping me finish it. Now, while I was talking, I was tracing and cutting my shaker film. which is not easy on this mold, by the way. And I wanted to fill this shaker with things I think Sailor Chibi Moon would love. I also wanted some of the pieces to always be visible, so I permanently attached some moons and stars to the background with UV resin. Then I poured in a bunch of the moon and star embellishments, with the pink glitter flakes, some big pink gems, and tiny diamonds. I attached the shaker film with a layer of UV resin and cured it. Now 60% of you thought this should be a wet shaker, so I filled it up with my baby oil, sealed the hole with more UV resin, and cured it. And I'm getting a lot better at not making a huge mess with the baby oil, so go me! Once that is all secure and no oil is leaking, I'm domed the entire piece in a layer of UV resin. This might be my favorite part because it really makes the sparkles and glitter pop. I wanted the shaker to be a brooch, just like Sailor Chibi Moon's transformation brooch. So I glued a big pin to the back with E6000 glue. And seriously, I cannot! This piece is so gorgeous and sparkly! And the pink and yellow are the perfect shade to complement Sailor Chibi Moon. I love it so much! Moving on to the Cardcaptor ray gun, I added some neon pink acrylic paint to the little lines at the top and to the details on the wings. Then I painted on some gold UV nail gel to the little indent on the side. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be, but it looks good gold now. And I wanted this ray gun to be an ultra cutesy ray gun. A gun, even a ray gun, is so violent sounding, but this gun is supposed to be kawaii. So I wanted my embellishments to really look like a kid's toy, and one that a magical girl uses. So I added hot pink glitter and some rainbow plastic balls. And because it's a ray gun, it needs to glow in the dark. So I added some glow in the dark embellishments as well. And to add some gold, to match the gold spot on the side, I added some gold stars. And then I attached my shaker film with UV resin. 60% of you thought this should be a wet shaker too. So I added my oil, sealed the hole, and then domed the entire piece. Also, this is supposed to be a magical girl's weapon. And I thought it'd be super cute if it was disguised as a keychain. So I screwed in an eye pin at the bottom with the help of my hand drill. Then attached it to a keychain. Now it can hang upside down, but a magical girl can quickly grab it and pew 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 her enemies into dust. Plus, I love how it glows in the dark. It's a little hard to see in this lighting, but the glowing beads really make this ray gun come alive and look like a real magical girl weapon. Now I can finally work on the unicorn. I started by applying big gobs of white acrylic paint to all the details and wiped them off with a damp, not wet, paper towel. This really brings out all those tiny details in the mold and helped to define the mane. Now, I wanted this unicorn to be opulent. I wanted gems and riches to just be swimming in this unicorn. So I poured my sparkliest rainbow embellishments in. Then I added huge diamond rhinestones. And of course, my infamous star glitter is called unicorn tears, so I had to add that too. But don't worry, she's not crying because she's sad. Oh no, she's crying because she is just too beautiful for our eyes to behold.
Opulent! You own everything!
Now, 75% of you thought this gorgeous equestrian marvel should remain dry. So I attached the film with UV resin, cured it, and then domed all of her in crystal clear resin, fit for a queen.
Everything is yours!
I want to be able to take this unicorn with me everywhere because every magical girl needs her magical friend. So I attached an eye pin and keyring in the same way I did the ray gun. Also, I found these sweet little heart clips and attached those to both keychains as well. This one is perfect for me because I love dry shakers. I love to be able to shake, shake, shake and hear the little pieces move around. Plus, this unicorn is filled with so many jewels and is basically made of crystal herself that she catches the light beautifully. And surprise! Here's a bonus shaker! It's a sweet little ice cream shake. Pun entirely intended. I imagine that after every battle, all of our favorite magical girls go to a donut shop or an ice cream parlor and chow down to celebrate another victory. So I filled up the ice cream mold with the leftover sparkly resin, as well as a few other colors. Yay! More bonus demolding! It wasn't until after I demolded this that I noticed a little detail line on the whipped cream by the cherry. So to make that really pronounced, I added some pastel pink paint and wiped it off with a damp paper towel. I wanted this ice cream to look like a magical potion, something that heals you as you drink it. So I added some blue and green gems, some tiny diamond beads, multicolored pearls, and some hot pink luster flakes. 83% of you thought this shaker should be wet. And to all of you who voted and follow me on Instagram, this shaker isn't actually a surprise to you. So if you want to see some of the behind the scenes of my videos, make sure you follow me on Instagram at BunnieDIY. As I was saying, most of you thought it should be a wet shaker. So I attached my shaker film, added the baby oil, and sealed it. Then I domed the entire piece in UV resin. And to add some dimension to the top of the shaker, I added some UV Deco Whip with a red diamond cherry. Of course, the best place to keep this magical concoction is on the refrigerator for emergencies. So I glued a magnet to the back with some E6000 glue. I seriously love this little piece. It's definitely the most simple of all the designs today, but it's just perfect for a magical girl like me. These shaker molds are super popular. I've seen a lot of amazing creations with them. Have you ever made anything with these shakers? Let me know in the comments below. Or share your art and creations with me on Instagram using hashtag BunnieDIY. I'd love to feature you and your art on my Instagram stories. I hope you all love these magical girl items. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe by clicking the little bell so you don't miss any future videos. I post every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Stay magical! Love you a latte.